more. That's all I ever heard all my life. And I realized I got stronger, but I got slower. That's why I didn't break any records to the point I broke my fifth lumbar vertebrae. Want to take out 2 discs, fuse my back, take off bone spurs. And I broke it in 73 as well. All right? That's how I invented the reverse hyper, if you're familiar with that exercise, the machine. Anyhow, I realized that I got slower, so I took a page from Olympic lifting. I started doing dynamic method, developing a fast rate of force development. Here in America, if you want the Olympic lifters to go up, you got to make them stronger. You can only lift so much if you're only so strong. So they just need to do the opposite that I did. I took a page from them, but they don't want to take a page from, you know, the strength portions. Any questions? I want to talk about the Leighton method. Now, in the old Soviet Union, used the Leighton method for junior lifters. We found our most advanced guys get the most out of it. And if you're not familiar with it, we take bands on top of a power rack for like the deadlift. It goes up 5'6", a blue band, not choked. And on the ground, 135 actually weighs nothing. So let's say this fella can only squat 150 pounds. So you take one, he stands out with 135, sets in a full squat at 0, stands back up, it's 135. You follow on this? Okay, 2 1/4. Now on the bottom, it's 90 pounds. All right, but he stands up, it's 2 1/4. It's a contrast method. You're familiar with contrast training. That's what this is. We do a lot of this. For the squatting, for our guys, we use 200 pounds. It'll take 200 out of the hole in our monolift with a light band, doubled up. A Monster Mini takes 110. And for instance, our boy just squatted 1141, and he did 1150 off a box with 110 out of the hole. And he went to me and squatted 1141. So you see how we work things? Like if I got in a fight with this man, he beat me up, I'm not going to his house next week and let him beat me up again. I'm going to train for 5 or 6 weeks, figure out how to come to his house and maybe beat him up. You know, you just can't keep beating a dead horse. That's what we don't like to get that psychological, like this girl, she's a thrower and she keep beating my girl. I wouldn't send my girl to her meets. I would keep my girl away from her meets till I built my girl up. Then I'd show up and I'd try to kick her butt. I wouldn't let her get that psychological advantage on me. And humans can get a psychological advantage, and so can weights. You know what I mean? Oh, I hate to do it. I'm not doing that today. I hate to do it. Well, when someone says that, that's what they do in my gym. They don't do what they want. They do what they need. Okay, the light method, you follow that. We also bench that way, where we'll hang a band at the chest. Again, a blue band, if we use a blue band choked on a 7-foot rack, it's at the chest it weighs nothing. At lockout it's 155. It will take 155. A green band, a medium band takes 95 off the chest, and a purple band takes 6 strength, is to move the same amount of weight but at different speeds. So if you got bands over top the bar, it's much different putting bands cradled under the bar. You follow what I'm saying? You're lifting bar weight versus going into a band that has steadily increments of strength. Yes, sir?
I don't think you just answered my question.
Oh.
I've done band squats when I've tied the lowest arm up to the bar, and what you're saying is you tie them from the top down.
That's right.
So it's not really overspeed eccentric.
That's right. That's not. That's what I'm saying. This fits, I think, more into you guys. If you were in my gym a year or two, it's no problem, but it would kill your athletes. So you all understand what I'm saying? Because he does. I want you to get up and tell him. Can you get up and tell him?
Yeah. I bought some bands back in August. So you put the band with the band you use, or strength the band. You tie them down to the ground on a dumbbell or a rack, and you pull it over the bar. So when you squat down, it overspeeds the eccentric phase of the lift. Now, I guess what you're saying, sorry.
Tied to the top, that way 155 pounds would be floating in midair. You follow that, correct? Okay, everybody follow. Okay. Yes, sir.
Recovery.
If you're in shape, which you better be, extreme workouts can be performed every 72 hours. Our squatting is on Friday. Our max effort for squatting dev is on Monday. We use the same exercise for squatting and deadlifting. Our speed bench is on Sunday morning. Anyone's welcome to come by our gym. Ask the address because it's a private and it's not publicized. You're welcome to come by and watch the guys do speed work. And then max effort's on Wednesday. Extreme workouts every 72. Small workouts every 12 or 24. I train in the morning, so does Phil. We always work out that night too. We go back and do special work or skilled work. Like you people would go back and maybe do, instead of GPP, general physical, you would do SPP. Special physical pyramid. Pardon?
Split it up into workouts?
We do a complete workout in the morning, complete. Then we come back and do more that night.
What about auxiliary?
That's exactly what I'm doing when I come back. You only handle the barbell 4 workouts a week, 2 for speed, 2 for max effort. We live on our auxiliary work. If this gentleman here squats 500 pounds and he has 700-pound spinal erectors but 500-pound hamstrings, he's going to live on glute hams, reverse hypers, pull-throughs, kettlebell swings, walking with sleds. See how this works?
Well, what about heavy good mornings?
We live on good mornings.
All right.
Just don't, if someone's doing good morning with the deadlift, believe you me, you're doing way too much. The weightlifters would normally use around 70% for 3 or 4 sets of 6. You want to do, when you train direct lower back exercises, direct lower back, you should handle weights you can at least do for 10 reps. Your lower back is comprised of nothing but ligaments and tendons. You know, if you've ever torn a pec or something, you bleed. You black and blue. You tear a lower back, it never bleeds. If you blow a tendon off, it doesn't bleed. Why? Low blood supply. So when you train your lower back, you have to train it frequently. You know, if the Soviets trained their lower back 5, 6 times a week, well, I'm from the same planet they are. And I do it, so you can too. Yeah, you just do it systematically. Yes, sir.
So, I've actually done both the way you're talking about with the bands, you know, and I've noticed what you said, that like you get a lot sore with if the bands are with the lightning method. I think it'd be better in terms of like during the season,
Great.
stuff like that.
Great. You heard it from a coach. You agree with me?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even if you know the weight at the top pretty much is the same, whether it's with the band and lower bar weight or all bar weight. It just seems for something like you said, because of the less stress on the eccentric, it's much less taxing on your body to do it with the lightning method.
That's why I was trying to stress to you, miss. It's the overspeed eccentrics that's going to make your throws farther because it's going to build a greater stretch reflex. Not to mention, it's going to last longer. It will last longer and it will produce a greater stretch reflex. Yes, sir.
What about reverse hypers? I mean, what would you, for throws, what would you like recovery on that heavy?
You need to do reverse hypers. I'm sorry, go ahead.
80% within a reverse hyper situation. Get a kid that's going to peak, say in March. When should we, throws coach,
Stop them?
do you like to apply the heavy method?
Always. You know, you live on assisted exercises, okay? So why would you dump the most critical part of your training before your most important event?
So I had a kid that's, half of his max is like 405. So we're like 200-pound
On what?
squat.
Oh, okay. Okay, well, if he could squat 405, he should probably train on a reverse hyper, a straight pendulum. If you say he squats 405?
Yeah, he's 205 squatter.
205.
No, he's a 405 squatter, but half of that, correct?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got it. About 200 pounds, right around in there. I would do 3 to 4 sets of 10. Sometimes I would hook a band in the front of the rack and go around the pendulum. The weight's going to come way down. Tremendous more contraction in the lower back. He won't be able to get as high. And switch it around like that, okay?
Is your reverse hyper done at the end of the workout, or is that
Okay, both. I warm up with heavy reverse hypers. And then at the end, I do heavier reverse hypers. I'm a huge fight fan. A lot of my friends are MMA guys. I mean, you can't wear one out, but they go out there. If I actually warmed up with them, I wouldn't be able to go to the ring and get my butt kicked. I'd be dead in the dressing room. And the same thing with a lot of people. I'm in condition to do this type of warm-up to go out and lift. So you want to be in condition to do a good warm-up. It should not, and I'm warming up the vital muscles that's doing the lifts. Like my guys, I got this from throwers overseas. A lot of my guys are doing 4 sets of 15 in a modern dumbbell. My George Haverty weighs 204. I just watched him Campbell bar bench 515 in a t-shirt. He's broke 11 world records. On my last tape, he benched 635 in a t-shirt, weighing 235. All right. He could do 4 sets of 15 with 155-pound dumbbells like all day long. It's not even hard for him. But he uses 4 sets of 15 with 85s every other day. He told me it's made the top of his bench